Welcome back to Chain Breakers. Once again, we just want to thank you for your encouragement. We want to thank you for your support. Today's video, we are going to continue our discussion on the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health by Dr. Rheeda Walker. And today we're going to be discussing peeling back the layers. Now, what do I mean by peeling back the layers? In her book, she discusses in the Black community, a lot of times we hold on to pain as part of our DNA. We think that pain and suffering is part of who we are, and we kind of wear it as a badge of honor, as if we're strong or we're tough and we can get through anything, right? But we have to start to peel these layers back, because a lot of times in our community, we also have a lot of secrecy and a lot of layers of pain. A couple of months ago, I was talking with one of my best friends, and I was telling him that I had recently started to see a therapist, and I was encouraging him to go as well, and he really wanted to go. But he said to me, I'm afraid of what I'm going to find when I start to peel all these layers back. And what I responded to him is, we should be more afraid of what happens if we don't go. What happens if we don't start to peel these layers back? Because what's going to happen is we're going to continue to have generations holding on to secrets. We're going to continue to have generations that are holding on to pain. And so when we talk about peeling back these layers and what does that look like, there are a lot of secrets. There are a lot of things that we go through in our community, and we have to start to peel back those layers. We have to peel back those layers of drug abuse. We have to peel back those layers of sexual abuse. We have to peel back those layers of incest. We have to peel back those layers of mental health. We have to peel back those layers of violence. Whatever it is that we have to deal with, we have to deal with it head on. And I know it's hard to be vulnerable. I know it's hard to actually look in the mirror and comprehend and understand what's going on with us. But the truth of the matter is this: if we don't start to peel these layers back, then we are going to continue to have generation after generation suffer in silence, and no healing is going to take place. Honestly, I'm going through it myself. I'm actually seeing a therapist. I actually talk to him weekly, and it's not easy. It's definitely painful. There's been a lot of sleepless nights. There's been a lot of days where I don't know how I got through. But the truth is, I would much rather go through it now than continue to see my children suffer, than continue to see generation after generation suffer. And so I'm being an advocate for it, but I'm also going through the process. And so what I want to do is I want to encourage you to go through that process as well. No, it's not going to be easy. No, it's not going to be a piece of cake. It's going to be painful. It's going to be some things that you have to face. But listen, I would rather let's face them now than continue to have a generation after generation suffering. And believe me, you have support. And that's part of what we're doing here. We want to support you in this journey. We want to support you in your walk. We want to support you as you try to heal. We can no longer continue to suffer in silence. We are trying to break these chains that bind us in mental health. And one of the ways to break it is by continuing to talk to someone, continuing to be open, and continue to think differently than we have in the past. Especially in our Black community, a lot of times we think therapy is for white people, or we think Black people don't commit suicide, and we know all of those things are not true. Those are things that we have held on to, and those are things that have continued to actually hurt us more than they have been to help us. So let's do this together. Let's do it as a collective. Let's continue to peel these layers back. Let's continue to seek counseling. Let's continue to seek therapy. And let's continue to move our community forward together, because no one can do it alone, and you're not in this alone. So please, continue to peel these layers back, and let's continue to be chain breakers.